Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, you may also call me Lo, and today I'm bringing you the end of the year book tag. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well, and let's get on into it. There aren't a lot of questions in this tag, so it's going to be a cute short video, and I love that for me. Before I start the actual questions, I was tagged by Tiffany over at Towering TBR, and this tag was originally created by Ariel Bassett, so I will link both of their channels down below. Please be sure to check them both out. And without further ado, let's get into the questions. So the first question is, are there any books that you started this year that you need to finish? I haven't DNF'd any books this year, and I am in the middle of 2 books, but I started them pretty recently. There's nothing that I started like earlier in the year that I really need to finish before the end of the year. So I do need to finish the books that I'm reading now, which are Sundial by Katrina Ward, as well as Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lin Tan, which is the second book in the Daughter of the Moon Goddess duology by Sue Lin Tan. But again, I don't have any books that I started like a long time ago and want to finish specifically before the end of the year, if that makes sense. The next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? So I have an entire fall TBR out full of like spooky atmospheric books for fall, so obviously I could answer this question with any of those books, but one that I'm really excited about because I've heard it's such a great autumn read is The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I cannot tell you how excited I am to read this. I like to read cozy fantasy books in the transition time between fall and winter, and this I feel like is definitely perfect for that. And it's supposed to have all like the cozy fall vibes. I'm just so excited. Let me know if you've read this and if you liked it. I've heard such good things about it so far. In terms of books that I've already read that I would recommend for this, I just finished A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson and really enjoyed it. Review to come in my October wrap-up, but I definitely think this is a great fall read. Another one, which I read a long time ago, but I will always recommend for fall, is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is another great, cozy kind of fantasy book that is just so good. Great vibes, especially for fall. The next question is there a new release that you're still waiting for? Honestly, most of the new releases that I was excited about for 2022 have already come out, but there are some new releases, like recent releases, that I'm very excited to read, so I guess I'll talk about those. The first one is Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lin Tan, which I already talked about. I've already started it, but it doesn't come out until November, and I'm actually reading an arc of it, so I guess this one technically hasn't come out yet, but I've been excited to read this ever since I read Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which I really enjoyed, so that's definitely the first one. I'm also really excited to read House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson, which has the most stunning cover I've ever seen, like so beautiful, and I just am excited for the vampire story. The synopsis sounds really interesting. I'm just so excited for that book. So that one's definitely up there, and that one came out in September. And another one is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. This also came out in September, and I am so excited to read this. The synopsis just sounds absolutely phenomenal. Like, I'm just so excited. This is also a beautiful Fairy Loot edition. Look at that spine. I mean, I'm a sucker for a beautiful book. Like, if it's beautiful, I get more excited to read it. Come on. So, very excited about this one. I hope to get to this very soon. Generally, I'd say I'm very bad at keeping track of new releases to begin with. So I'm pretty sure there's nothing that's still coming out that I am excited to read or that I even know about. That's the problem. I don't know about books that are coming out for the rest of the year. So maybe there are things that I'm missing, but for now, those are the ones that have recently come out that I'm so excited about. The next question is, what are 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? So I'm going to talk about books that aren't on my fall TBR because if you've seen that video, I don't want this one to be repetitive, and those aren't the only books that I'm hoping to read before the end of the year. I'm really hoping to get to Babel by the end of the year. I've been so hyped to read this all year, and it finally came out and I didn't get to it. So I think this came out in August, I want to say. This is another like stunning edition of a book that makes me excited to read it. This book, like the hype surrounding it, is so real. Everyone who's read it has said it's phenomenal. Like I have not heard a single bad review of this or even like okay review of this. People love it. It sounds super interesting and I am like eagerly awaiting the moment that I can finally pick this book up. I really hope it happens before the end of the year. I also want to continue some series. I've started so many series this year and I haven't continued them. So I'd say my other two that I really want to get to are Jade War by Fonda Lee and Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. These are both series that I've only read the first book for and absolutely loved the first book for. So I don't know what's stopping me. I think that, well, this one especially is very long. This one I have literally no excuse, although I have heard some mixed things about it, which I think is why I'm hesitant to pick it up. But these two, I really hope I can get to. I want to prioritize these because I haven't, and I need to finish some series. The next question is there a book you think could still shock you or could be your favorite book of the year? A lot of the books that I've already mentioned, honestly, like Jade War for sure, Spells for Forgetting, what else? The Once and Future Witches, Babel. Those are all books that like I expect are going to be up there. Hopefully there are some 5 stars in there. I don't want to like jinx myself, but those are all books that I like anticipate I'm going to really love. I also have Mexican Gothic on my fall TBR, and this is a book that I've like had a really good feeling about for a very long time and just haven't gotten to, but like I definitely think I could give this 5 stars. So there are definitely books I want to squeeze in toward the end of the year to try to get more 5 stars in. I want to do like a best books of the year video of all my 5-star reads, and so far I think I have like 8, maybe 7 or 8, and I want to get to 10. I want to have 10 books to like gush about, so that's the goal. The next question is, have you already started making reading plans for 2023? I'm always making reading plans, I feel like. I always have like lists of books that I want to get to at different times. So I have started thinking about my winter TBR, which I'll read from January to March. And in the winter, I want to read more like high fantasy books. So those are definitely books I'm going to prioritize in the winter time and in early 2023. I'm not going to tell you what those books are quite yet, but I will post that TBR video in December, hopefully. So look out for that. I'm also planning to do more color-specific vlogs in 2023. I'll probably get to one more before the end of this year, but I have color recommendations, like comments that I got on my other color-specific vlogs of recommendations for colors to choose. So I think I still have to do yellow, green, teal, and blue. I think that's it. But that's still 4 videos. So I'll do 1 before the end of the year and 3 next year. And if I continue to receive recommendations, I'll continue to make those videos. I know that they're kind of silly, but I don't know. I think they're a fun way to get books off my TBR. So those will definitely be happening in 2023. For like specific books, I really want to get to Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This has been on my TBR all year and I don't think it's going to happen. But Sean just finished The Way of Kings and we were going to start buddy reading this together. So we might start now and I might just kind of like chug through it as I'm working on my TBRs and other books that I want to read. And eventually I'll finish it. I'm sure that will be early next year. But I do plan to start this at least pretty soon. But this won't appear in a wrap-up video until 2023. I can almost guarantee. And I also want to finish a couple of series. Specifically, I really want to finish the ACOTAR series, and I also really want to finish the Red Rising series. There are a lot of series that I'm in the middle of, but those are two that I'd love to tackle in 2023, and I guess plan to tackle in 2023. So I'm sure that there are more plans that I've thought of and lists that I've made, because that's how my brain works, but that's kind of all I can think of right now. So next I'm going to tag people in this video, and for once I'm actually prepared, so I have my list at the ready. So I'd like to tag Olivia at Olivia's Catastrophe, Lachlan at Locke's Library, Lotta at Lotta's Nook, Lottie at Lottie's Library, Amber at Books of Amber, and Samantha at Samantha Donovan. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like it. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put one bookish video out every week, sometimes two, if I can pull it off. If you're still here, thank you so much for being here. I always really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.